Everyone, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and tonight we're going to be talking about Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 4. So if you haven't seen it, or you don't want spoilers, don't watch it. I'll be joined by my friends tonight, but they are still coming aboard right now. Um, I don't think James is there yet, but pretty soon we'll have everybody here. But okay, it looks like Max is here. Ooh, up close. How's it going, Max?
Very good.
So yeah, so I gotta say, off the top, I like the episode.
I did too.
Yeah, I thought it was really, it felt a little bit short, but it was, kind of to the point.
Mm-hmm.
And I see James there, but I'm seeing like, yeah, it's like the wrong camera. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But all right, he's fixing it now. Okay, he's fixing it now. But yeah, there we go.
Sorry, I
There
didn't
you
realize I didn't put my camera back on. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Okay, yeah. I saw it earlier. I didn't put you in because I was like, "What is that?"
Sorry.
But yeah. So like overall, the gist of the spoilers all panned out.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that didn't was Ned B. He just didn't track. Ned B. Just what happened to him? I don't know. He's just not there anymore. He's just gone. But yeah, the using Lola as the tracking device thing panned out. The interrogation of Leia panned out. All that stuff. So basically, I'm glad. I like the but just to get that out of the way, Rokin thought it was interesting. Was very much like, let's give the background to Rokin so when we get back to the planet, we know who he is. Stuff. Did a little bit of that here, which I was expecting to actually for that to happen after. But whatever. But yeah, what you think? What you guys think? Max, go first, and then
I liked it. And the girl that played Leia did really, really, really good. I was very impressed.
Livian Lyra Blair? Is I think her name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
She's really good.
Yeah, when they were putting on that torture table, I was like,
Mhm.
oh man, they're not gonna torture the kid, are they? They're not gonna do it, are they?
She knows the art of mind control.
I know, right? But I'm curious to see that moment when my kids see that, because I don't think we've ever saw a kid strapped to a torture device in Star Wars before. But yeah, overall, James, were you? What'd you think?
I was very happy with this episode. There's some internal plot logic going on that's kind of stretching things a bit, but on the whole, this is definitely the best episode by far.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, because I thought this was going to be a little bit more of like a setup towards the final two episodes. I thought it would be a little more of a slow burn, but yeah, no, really good episode.
I wanted
Yeah.
it longer
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. Max.
I didn't mean
Be
that.
greedy.
But yeah, I kind of yeah, like in a weird way, like I knew some of what happens in this episode in general, like how it played out, but I was sort of able to, like, looking at the previous episodes, sort of readjust for how it was going to play on here, and I felt like it kind of worked in my favor. Like it kind of felt like I knew what to expect, and I liked it. You know what I mean? And I kind of like that we got a little bit of the sneaky Kenobi back. I like sneaky Kenobi. And he
Yeah.
did his little New Hope sound, his little New Hope sound throw.
And he did
But
his Nabubu swimming thing.
Naboo swimming, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was went into through the great. I mean, like I said, this isn't like, this is like irrelevant, really. But I mean, the if I had to be critical of anything, I would just say that like the air speeders, how they flew in was a little bit, I don't know,
Fake looking.
it wasn't that it was fake. Like, yeah, I mean, they've never, snow speeders have never looked real to me, like on screen, like they've never. So I'm not really like that hard on it. But I was like, yeah, a little bit, like, I guess like the ability to just like kind of like slam on the air brakes. Those air brakes really work. I gotta say, they must have really been tuning them up. But yeah, and then like, once again, love the episode. Just, but I'm not gonna kiss its ass, so to speak. The Wade's death. Like, this is Wade. We want everybody on the show. Everybody, pay attention. This is Wade. So when he dies, you feel like there was stakes. Okay, this is Wade. He's gonna die. Look him in the eye before he dies. Okay, cool.
He's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, and then they spend time like with everybody mourning Wade, and like I don't know who this guy is. I don't care.
Yeah, I was kind of like, you know what, Wade?
I think that was a purpose, though,
Yeah, but Wade died. I'm like,
because
oh
we
my
don't
God,
really
yeah.
care when
But
these people die.
well, yeah. But I mean, but the point is, was the emotionality of the moments really well spent on Wade? In actuality, what it was, I was like, not really. But the moment that followed between Leia and Kenobi was like pretty solid, because you know, like that's kind of that was actually solid character work,
Uh-huh.
because like Leia jumps into the fight, causes all kinds of trouble, gets shit done, but afterwards she's pretty nurturing person. Like what, after the fight and stuff like that, she like
Mhm.
you know, takes care of people after like they've gone through shit. And so like that moment between them, I thought was nice. It
So-
reminded me, and there was, you know, a little Empire Strikes Backy in a good way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What was that, Max?
No, I was just wondering if you guys had talked about the whole General Kenobi, you served my father in the clothes, or whatever. I mean,
Mhm.
instead of General Kenobi, you saved my life one time. I
Yeah.
know that wasn't, you know what I mean? That's just,
I'm
unless
still
that's where
I'm
we
still a
kind of have
little
to like,
I'm still a little confused, Max.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
does she know that Ben Kenobi is Obi-Wan Kenobi? Like, she kind of should have, from if she could read, which I think she can. But
Yeah,
I'm
the
still a little
Inquisitor straight up says Obi-Wan is
okay.
dead.
Okay,
And
you're
it
right.
like
You're right.
literally uses that name. And so
Yeah.
I was like, that was a bit of a misstep, I think, on somebody's part. If they just referred to him as
I don't think
Ben
it,
throughout the series
yeah.
with because I mean even Obi-Wan says in A New Hope, it's a name I've not heard in a long time. Well, I mean, if they keep using it, it's gonna look kind of stupid at some point.
Well,
So I,
unless
but I
this is the
mean,
part where we kind of have to like,
well, at the end of it, she was like, you know, if they had cute names for each other, Buttercup, I'm in trouble, and then Luke finds it, he doesn't know how to get it to her. So in a way, if we want to look at the batshit continuity thing that we're in,
yeah.
you know, like I said, I'm just taking it now as a formality.
Yeah, it's not horrible. It's just like I wish they would try to avoid it as much as possible instead of
Yeah.
leaning into it. So yeah, but it's a minor thing. It never worried me that Leia was going to be in the show and having interactions with him, but
no, but
because there's ways that you can get around it. But it's like at some point it's like they're not trying that hard to
Well,
get
we
around it.
have to kind of back it up a little bit, though, to remember that it, like the prequels themselves,
Mhm.
by making Ben a secret name or a fake name,
Yeah,
introduced a gaffe already, because Luke is like, I'm here with Ben Kenobi. Where?
Ben Kenobi, where is
She was like, I know that guy.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It was kind of so. Yeah, I'm okay with
Yeah.
it. I could get by with it.
I
To me,
can't. It's just
No,
ahead.
no, Max, you're a fucking hater. You're part of the
Yeah.
Fandom Menace now. Have fun. Now you're done.
Now I'm gonna
Disney
make a
show.
song. I mean, no, yeah,
Now you're gonna get a bunch of super chats.
yeah.
You're gonna get rich.
Show your tits.
If we get $100 in super chats, we call Rob up and get him on the show, right? That's the deal that we made.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
those super chats coming in.
I like Tala.
Yeah.
do.
Tala's been a solid character. I was afraid she
she's
was gonna. I was afraid she was gonna die.
I was too. I'm glad
yeah.
that they didn't kill her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's been the best new character out of the show so far.
Yeah.
By far, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I was just thinking that if they do anything with Leia in the future, it's perfect timing because we can grow with her
Mhm.
because she's so young.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it gets a. That's what I'm saying is like for like next like couple of years, they could use her as adolescent Leia,
Mhm.
but I do think when you hit a certain moment, they need to decide,
Yeah.
are we recasting these people
Mhm.
or are we going digital? Because like you know what I mean? Like it's only gonna get better. It's not gonna get worse. I mean, the worst is behind us already. That's the thing with that. I think. I hope.
Well, I just warn fans, careful what you wish for, because obviously, you can tell this is on a TV show budget. Like, especially like when the airspeeders come in at the end and they look a little hokey. But that's TV. If this was a feature film, those airspeeders would have looked amazing coming in. It would look great.
And it doesn't bother me that much. I was just like, yeah.
No, I mean, I kind of take it.
It was
to some
minimalist,
extent
right?
for what it is. Yeah, that's that's not that bad. I can live with that. But if it's going to take away from your budget of your show because you had to digitize every main character, and so you're already cutting corners, how many more corners are you going to have to cut just so you can have digital Han and Leia in your show? And is it worth it?
I think so. I think so. And I also think that eventually those corners won't be cut. Like right now, I could call up my kids and I could be a lion and talk to my daughter on FaceTime before she goes to bed tonight, and she'll laugh at it. Yeah. If I could do that on my fucking telephone, pretty soon they're going to be able to do that shit pretty realistically, I'd say. But Young Boomer just sent a super chat. Thank you, Mr. Boomer. Favorite one so far. Wait for the oh my god, how did Obi-Wan not get discovered early? Writing bad. Forgetting how he walked through the Death Star unseen. Yeah, forgetting how he snuck around a Geonosian hive, spying on a separatist meeting taking place with the most sensitive information in the galaxy. All going on. No, so it's like it's what he does. He's super spy. And I'm okay with that.
Well, and at the end of the day, you just want consistency. So, like, if Obi-Wan is sneaking around the Death Star, no problem, and he sneaks around the base on Nur, no problem, that's fine. But if there was, where, oh my God, he couldn't sneak around the Death Star at all, and all of a sudden he's like super spy, that's where it's a problem. So yeah, so it's consistent. It's internally consistent, even though the security for the Empire is fucking horseshit. But it's consistently horseshit. So yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, but even on to the writing's credit, unlike Geonosis and unlike the Death Star, on the Death Star, their man on the inside's fucking C-3PO, you guys.
Yeah.
In this one, he has Tala with Imperial credentials tagged into a system, having to kill other Imperials or at least beat the shit out of them to be able to infiltrate the system and help him out. So in certain ways, he has more of an advantage than the other cats do.
That was kind of like, it seemed like a little bit of a throwback to A New Hope with the whole the
comlinks and all that.
When the communicators left down, like how 3PO does it. Yeah. And that's why that was on my mind, because I was like, look at C-3PO being your guy in the chair, as Young Boomer puts it, is like, yeah. I mean Tala. I mean that's who you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not C-3PO. So it's like, so what I'm trying to say is, like, if they want to go writing bad, I say fuck off. I mean, this isn't your jam, but I mean, that's not like bad writing. I mean, there will be people who say that about anything. Nothing you can do about it. But like overall, I thought that this was like the biggest, I don't know, it was like throwbacky in a good way, but also what I want to get to really quickly is what Soundwave is saying. Tera Sanube, why Kenobi? Why? Yeah, so Tera Sanube is in that early Ahsoka's arc, and he's in there. And for 1 second, I thought they were in stasis, and he was gonna unfreeze them all and have a bunch of Jedi with them, and I was like, what the fuck? But it looks like it's similar. Like what they're doing is, if you remember in Rebels, like one of the fourth episode perhaps of Rebels, we have what's her name,
Luminara
Unduli, who is used as bait. They just kind of use her and go, oh, I know her, and then so I wonder if they're keeping all of those bodies as if is that their chum.
It's very gross, but
is that their Jedi chum? But
it's very Jurassic Parky kind of thing, trapped in amber, and it's like, with the whole Grogu thing going on, are they trying to tie all this stuff in together? It seems like it.
Because in Rebels, like if this is connected to the same concept, Unduli's like a mummified mess in there. She looks a nightmare, I could also see why they might be a little bit too disgusting to like use that with all of these different characters and different people. They might not have wanted to show, the graveyard pool scene from Poltergeist when they're just trying to so they might have went with the amber aesthetic instead.
You
But,
know, Anakin looks like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, it looks
It's
like
the hat.
looks like a soggy ball sack.
It's the hat, yeah.
The hat and sweater. Gives it
Yeah, I like that. I thought the juxtaposition between them in the dual tanks was cool.
That was cool.
That was fun. And Kenobi's not fully healed. So next episode we're gonna go to Jabim, and I think that must be when he gets more healed up, and then that's Hilder, and then that's when we're gonna have the flashback to Anakin and Obi-Wan when Anakin's like around 19, 20 years old. And
that whole Vader scene from last episode was gross, I thought. I mean, can you imagine having that like in your body and
I know this is like in no way really as drastic as what the characters in the show go through, but when I was like 8 years old, my uncle had a motorcycle, and I was pretty tall at about 8, and he was like, "You're tall enough to ride it." So I went and I rode the motorcycle, and when I tried to stop the motorcycle to get off, my leg hit the tailpipe, and it just burned the fuck out of my leg, and like a giant piece of skin just came off. And God. Like my uncle Stoner friends, he's like, "That's gnarly, bro," and I'm like, "Fuck you!" And I threw the skin at him, like in rage. More of a little Anakin and a little Obi-Wan, I can't lie. And but anyways, whenever I see that shit, I'm just like, oh man, I know how bad that is. Like getting a really bad burn, it's the worst. So yeah.
Do you have a scar?
You know what's weird is you could only see the scar now if I'm really cold. It's really strange. It's not there, but if I get really cold, you could see where it was, like where the burn mark was. Yeah, it's almost completely healed, but when I'm cold and like you get little goosebumps going.
Did you get into a back to tank?
No, I just lived. Yeah, just lived my life. Back to tank called life, Max.
It's pretty metal.
Thanks.
That's disgusting though. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but yeah, Obi-Wan's gonna get his mojo back. Like we saw him like willing to. He was starting to like use the Force just to try to like kind of like get in touch and get and connect, and he knew that he's kind of seeing that he needs to get back in fight shape, and he's starting it on his own, even though he's all fucked up. And,
so my roommate Michael's here for the rest of the week because he's getting his stuff out. He's been watching the show, and he's like, I don't understand why Obi-Wan is having trouble using the Force. And then I had to explain to him what the idea of where he is with that, and and so he's like I guess he was having a little hard time grasping the concept, but just explained it to him.
So I mean, if you haven't done something in 10 years, it's kind of hard to just get back in. I mean, I guess using the Force isn't like riding a bike.
Well,
that's our takeaway.
I said something to James about that yesterday.
Did you?
I'm not going to say.
All right.
About doing Uber.
Oh.
Okay, I can't wait to watch this series in one sitting, Lafayette. I know, me too. I think that's going to be like a really like I think that's when it's going to really work the best, probably.
When I had popcorn.
Yeah.
I watched it. Yeah.
Nice.
And my lipstick didn't come off. It was buttery. Yeah,
Thomas says, hey, how's it going, Thomas? And thanks everybody for being channel members. I appreciate you guys and supporting the channel and stuff. And if you're watching and you're not a channel member, can't be right now, I understand. But like the video, please. Thomas says, people are already complaining because it's not about Vader in this episode. I'm just sick of people complaining. I'm just sick of people, whatever. Yeah, people complaining. Yeah, I know. It's like this was like a problem like, and just in general, when, especially with dumb people, like dumb people won't critique something for what it is.
Yeah.
Instead, they'll critique it for what it's not, because you could always do that. I had to, when I was doing work in grad school with undergrads, eventually I had to tell them, I was like, you guys, I don't want to hear what should have been in the reading. I want to talk about what's in the reading. Like,
Yeah.
like that's kind of like something that you have to do. You have to fucking focus. I wanted my Kenobi fan fiction to happen. Well, you know what? You read the spoilers. You know it was going to happen. Everybody's asking you, like, is Darth Vader in this? Like I knew, like, there was the moment with Reva and Darth Vader. I didn't know if it was going to be in this.
He's really mean. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they're making him like really mean.
Yeah.
I will say I wish that they would have made Vader more the central villain, and have the Inquisitors be more background characters, because it does get a little muddy when you have kind of the third sister as your main villain, but then you also have Vader there, who also is kind of your main villain. It gets a little murky because you have two villains.
Yeah.
And this is not a Batman movie where you have two villains and they're working together, and so it does kind of get a little bit murky in the narrative with that. It's a little harder to navigate. And it would have been, I think, nicer if it just concentrated solely on the Obi-Wan Vader relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tend to go with less is more with Vader so far.
Yeah,
and so I kind of see where they're coming from. My my like little critique or little gripe was one line, and that was when Tala says the Grand Inquisitor, and I'm like, so you're asking me now to go and to say everybody doesn't know, nobody knows that he's what's happened. And that's the only way it works, because literally when she said that was a big giveaway. This person doesn't fucking belong. This person doesn't know what's going on. They're not in the loop. Call the cops. Call the Star Wars cops. It's up. And instead he's just like, oh, okay. And so like I just think that the line should have just said the Inquisitors or the Inquisitorius, or just, it should have just been very generic. And instead she says the one guy who like literally can't come. I thought, oh shit, you fucked up. That's what I thought when I saw it. I was like, you're a bad liar. And then 2 minutes later, they're like, you're a good liar.
Yeah, Imperial security is not good. I mean, anybody who's been in the military knows you can't just like go up and be like, I know your security here, but I have a high rank, so you need to get the fuck out of my way. That's not how security works. In a secure facility, you can't just say I pull rank and so security doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, in Star Wars, we get British accents and we act real pompous, and then you go, oh shit.
Yeah. How dare you, sir? Out of my way, brigand.
Yeah, but it was a bummer to see old Terra Sanube. Yeah. I mean, it was cool to see him, but also a bummer to see him. I'm curious if he was put in there since like Order 66, because he looked a little slow. Oh, it's Mohawk. It's his birthday. He's like, it's my birthday.
Yep.
Or if he if we put up a fight and was on the run for a while, doing old guy stuff.
Terra Sanube? Really slow.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you're gonna catch me. Someone says, I will never forgive the dark side for the murder of Terra Sanube. Right? I know, he was a nice guy. He was nice. Remember when he rode the speeder bike? Did he ride a speeder bike?
Yeah, really slow.
With your croissant? Yeah, and it was all slow. Yeah, that was good. That's what you're referencing, right? Yeah. Like a bantha. He really was like a bantha. I actually really enjoyed the episode. Me too. Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, like the first episodes are like the guy depressed. The next ones are the guy getting his shit back together and becoming the old guy. So I think the next ones are probably going to most likely make people with realistic expectations that aren't like, oh, I should make my own fan fiction film instead. Like those people, like, you know what I mean? It's like, well, go do that instead then. Leave us alone. But yeah. Star Wars Theory is saying is one of the worst things he's seen because it destroyed Vader. Oh, did it destroy Vader? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'll make a fan fiction film. Eric Denton says, hi, Jason. Hi, Max. I didn't even know that was coming from Max, honestly. Hi, dude. Who hates Star Wars?
God.
Yes, that's me.
for the record, Eric is probably as critical as you are overall. But I'm
actually a Trekkie. I have the Spock ears under here. So
he infiltrated. He was actually undercover.
That's what she said.
Darth Kruger says that's what she said. Dale says, "What's up?" I'm not doing it, Dale. Dale
No,
wants
do
me to
it
go,
right.
"What's up?" and do it.
What's
I'm not. I'm not.
up?
Oh man, and if we start doing Austin and Powers impressions, I'm just ending the broadcast. Thomas Shane says the Jedi grave thing was pretty creepy. Yeah, it was. It was. That was. Yeah, that was a nice little surprise. It was kind of cool. I wonder. I couldn't tell who any of the other people were. I didn't know if it was just like
I
generic
couldn't
Jedi
either.
number one, generic Jedi
It
number
looked like
two,
it.
I'm
and
pretty
stuff
sure
like
there's
that.
some deep cuts in there in terms of what all
What
those
one of
characters meant,
them
but
one of them looked like it was like something that maybe like was from the comics or something. I couldn't, it looked like almost like a big like a bigger guy like a kind of armor or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had armor on, but yeah, I didn't stop it. I wanted them like if I wasn't doing the show after, I probably would have been like freeze framing it and looking at it going, oh, but
some nerd out there knows and they'll tell us.
somebody right now is going, bunch of fake fans turning it off. Soundwave says, I love that the Kenobi sneakiness did the same visual language as Ahsoka and Mando. I mean, Ahsoka did not learn stealth from Anakin, so it's probably Kenobi. It runs in the Force family. Huge F for Wade. Yeah, fucking Wade, dude. I mean, Wade, you know.
They had one job.
You know what, Wade? I'm hoping as I watch this series 50,000 times, I like really learn the new nuances of Wade's 2 seconds on screen, and then he starts to be like, you know what? It wasn't 2 seconds.
Poor
To
Wade.
me, I've watched it 30 times, and now he's been on screen for 60 seconds, and I really feel just bad for Wade.
That's your
but
next song, tribute to Wade. Yeah.
Tribute to Wade. Rest in peace, Wade. But I gotta say, Wade did a good job, though. He pretty much saved the galaxy in the end. Just throwing it out there.
I totally ruined Star Wars because it made Wade the hero of the entire saga now.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what that's exactly where I was gonna go.
Pretty
like
much.
people like go like, well, the last thing I saw is the most important thing. That means that thing happened.
Yeah. So you're saying that if Wade didn't die, that the Empire would have taken over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's all about Wade and whatever, man. Fuck Wade. Wade is woke. I don't know how. I don't know how.
It was funny when Leia like peeked out of his cape or whatever. His cloak.
Yeah, it was like under the
I lolled.
Yeah. I know. I was kind of like, couldn't they put her in a duffel bag or something? Don't they have like an Imperial duffel bag?
I should have put like her in a backpack or something. Like, what is that?
I will say that's one of the things that they definitely need to explain is, so you had a senator's daughter kidnapped by the Empire and held at an Imperial facility and nearly interrogated, as a fucking 10-year-old. Based off of everything you see and like in A New Hope, this would not sit well with anybody. So they need to explain how that all goes over, because they made it very clear in A New Hope that the Senate still holds a lot of sway. There's a lot of sympathy for the rebellion growing in the Senate. So you start interrogating 10-year-olds.
Well, I'm going to throw it out there.
Bad day.
Maybe the ramifications of this right here. I mean, well, there's two things. She's like I don't know what the Empire knows beyond Reva.
Mm-hmm.
But they know that she has a connection to Kenobi, so it seems to me like once she gets out of there, no one's gonna talk about this.
Yeah.
Like, it's not in Bail Organa's best interest to talk about it. It's not in the Empire's best, so I don't think anybody's gonna talk about it. But if they do, there's a chance that maybe that's what wins them sympathy and makes it even harder, and gives Leia 9 more years of being able to run around with some kind of impunity until Darth Vader obviously knows there's shit there, and then he can't wait to get her in A New Hope. So maybe they're setting the stage for something like that, but it could just be a stalemate at the end of the day, considering that they're both breaking the law.
Yeah, I mean, considering you had basically in A New Hope, you have a ship that was leaving the Battle of Scarif, and you board that and kill everybody aboard, and one of the Imperial commanders is like, "Oh, this isn't going to look good." I mean, how is kidnapping a 10-year-old gonna look then? I mean, shit. At least these were in an active war zone.
Right.
This is a senator's daughter.
Yeah.
So it's like the equivalent of the FBI kidnapping some high-ranking senator's daughter and holding them captive. I'm like, that would not go well.
No.
So they need to, they need to deal with the ramifications at the very least at some point, because always it looks kind of
like I said, she's working with Jedi, knows secrets of a Jedi underground order, and then they did. So I think at the end of the day, I'm just calling stalemate on it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, yeah, you can't, what can they do about it? Like, openly, nothing. I don't think. I don't
So
think either side can.
I'm just thinking, in the original trilogy, does Leia ever find the Force like new or like something that she's not familiar with?
Mm-mm.
No.
Even the rebels or even say, "May the Force be with you." They're like,
Mhm.
they're completely about it.
About Jesus.
About Force Jesus, yeah. Baymax says, "Snowspeeders did look low budget. Why weren't there any ties scrambled? There was a hangar full of them in an impenetrable fortress. The Jedi Mark was cool. Because like Reva says, she put the tracker in Lola. So if they
Does she
go
really
in,
though?
yeah, Lola's eye glows right at the end.
Yeah.
There's a evil
Oh,
Lola,
okay.
which just signifies that she has, she's been hacked. And so that's why Reva's like tracking them to the base, and then that right there also, before everybody goes and gets annoyed with that, remember in A New Hope, they escape because they decide to let them go and track them, and then
Mhm.
Leia's like, fool, they're tracking us. Like, she knows they're tracking him. Like, it's like she completely is like, understands that they didn't just do that. Like, everybody knows it's kind of a trick.
Yeah,
Do you
it's a
think
bit of a
Lola's cute?
Did you guys just fall in love? Like, speaking at the same time? You guys had to drop your
yes.
books and both look up at
No.
the same time?
Do you think Lola is cute?
I think she's fucking ugly. She's an ugly
I think
bitch.
she's hot. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you think she's hot? I think
hell yeah.
she's the ugliest bitch in Star Wars. That's what I call her. No,
I'm into
course.
chicks with one eye,
She's a CD. She's a
Yeah.
CD carrier. She's a CD
One-Eye
player.
Rabbits.
Mm.
Yeah.
Makeup compact with legs
Yeah. She plays the New Kids on the Block.
and ears.
I will say it's a bit of a plot contrivance with her like tracking them, because she has Leia in a secure facility, so she's assuming that Obi-Wan's going to come break her out and going to track him. And then it begs the question, like, okay, when they leave Mapuzo, why didn't they track Obi-Wan then? They just let him walk out. They didn't follow that ship. They didn't put a tracker on or figure that out. So I just seemed
Well, they had Leia. I think that was kind of
Yeah.
I think they knew that having, I mean, if you want to make it work for yourself, they had Leia.
Yeah.
So that they knew that's clearly what brought him out. So they know he's going to go for her. I would say if anything was stupid about the situation on the Empire's part, was the fact that there should have been a trap waiting for Kenobi, but when he comes to get Leia, but they also think he wouldn't be so stupid to try to get her there. Is what they're they kind of like, they point out that once again, thematic imperial ignorance or arrogance, I should say, where they're like, oh, we don't have any of that stuff here because no one's going to come for this place. You know what this place is? And then but of course, Obi-Wan can.
I have a question. So, like, Ben is kind of, so like he's protecting these children of like his brother. So does that make him Uncle Ben?
Uncle Ben thrice.
I thought so.
With great power comes great responsibility. So
yeah, Leia,
she was awesome.
Once again, like that kid, like when she was almost shot in episode 3, I think it was, with the stormtroopers, like she runs from the lizard, like, whoa, it's really good acting. Right here, when she's thinks she's gonna get tortured, yeah, like the kid can really tap into
really,
fear.
really good.
She's good at it. Purge troopers will make Hasbro happy. Purge troopers make me happy. I'm not even gonna buy any of that shit.
Are we gonna get a little Leia figure? I think I'm gonna get one.
No, for boys only. We decided Star Wars Men is what we called it in '83, and it's what we're gonna call it in 2022. Fuck this woke ass little girl toy stuff. It's not dolls, it's action figures. We have decided. No, I think they will. I mean, but
I honestly, I'm becoming a fan of hers.
yeah, I wonder when or how long it'll take, but I could definitely see the little Leia with the little Lola figure being like a
A-
Black Series figure,
Like
probably.
the first episode,
Yeah.
a little smidge of annoyance. Just kind of like I would have
Wanted to
been
beat the
like,
shit out of her.
I'm fucking trying to save your life. Get
Yeah.
in here now. You know.
You
But-
started drafting a Disney, a note to a Disney. Dear Disney, I didn't have kids for a fucking reason. How dare you foist these children upon us? Oh,
But
oh
no,
man,
she's really good.
Grogu's holding the torch for Wade. Never gonna forget him.
Oh God.
Young
I
Boomer
feel
says, "I
something.
can't believe we saw Terrace Nube. What the fuck?" Right? That was pretty rad. I know.
And did everybody pick up on the Easter egg with Florum?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Just her mentioning it.
Yeah,
what-
so
what-
Florum was
is-
the base of operations for Hondo and Aka in Clone Wars.
yeah, it's right. Ayla Secura eats it, right?
Yep. Oh,
Mhm.
not Ayla Secura. Where
Ayla Secura.
No, that's from Revenge of the Sith. Florum is in Clone Wars. That's where Hondo and Aka has his base, where he kidnaps Count Dooku, and where eventually Maul and Savage fight him.
Yeah, isn't
Yeah,
I thought it's the same-
that planet's Florum. It's not in the movies, but it's in Clone Wars.
I thought Florum
That's
was like
Felucia. You're thinking.
Oh.
Felucia. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yes,
Thank you.
yes.
There
Yeah.
we go.
It's a different
At
word
1 in the
for
morning,
blowjob.
Felucia.
Felucia. You know when you get Felucia?
I'll say.
Bye, Felucia.
Bye, That's what he should
That's
say.
good.
He has to say it.
Bye,
He has to say
Felucia.
it. Bye, Felucia. Oh man, we need that shirt.
Jesus.
Eric
it
Denton
is.
says Leia's message in A New Hope is formal. She's not reminiscing. Yeah, fair enough. I'll
Yeah,
take it.
maybe. Yeah, okay. She's in a bit
Kenobi?
of a bind.
Where is he?
Hurry,
Yeah.
hurry.
It's no more of a retcon than anything else in the prequels with Yoda trained me and all that stuff. So
Yeah, and I'm with like Soundwave is on the same page as me. Like Ben Kenobi, where is he? Leia in A New Hope, she doesn't even trust Luke until she hears Ben Kenobi's name.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and Obi is one sneaky boy. C3 guy in the chair, PO. That's good. That's right. Rest in peace, Wade. Young Boomer says Ewan, it's a tomb. Gave me damn chills. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
especially when they
Did it
had the
look
little
like-
Padawan kid, that was fucked up.
That was brutal.
It was like,
And they left his little hat on. They said, you know what? Let him keep his little hat. Put him in his little hat. They probably were all laughing while they put him in there. Like, look at his little hat on still.
right.
Looks
Someone
like a
had to make
nerd.
that decision. Do we take his hat off? Nah, keep
Did
it.
Uncle Ben? Did he cry a little bit? It looked like he was gonna cry.
No, I think he said, I fucking hate those guys. It's because we're always dicks to me. That's what
It's
he
all
said.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they're always making fun of the fact that I had the emo Padawan. Fuck them. They were always asking me, when's Anakin going to start wearing guy liner, and being just real dicks about it. No.
He's like, just wait till his grandson comes around.
He's going to see. Yeah. Garth Crocus, was that Kit Fisto on the bottom right of the first scene showing them all? I didn't see that. I'll have to look again, because I did not see any Kit Fisto, but it could have been. But I didn't see that. Shogun says, I thought I saw Quinlan Voss in one of the Ember tanks. Man, everybody has got Quinlan Voss on the brain since they
Because
just
they
said his
said
name.
it.
I know.
You know,
But I don't think that big guy was supposed to be Quinlan Voss. I think that was supposed to be somebody else. But if it was, oh man.
I remember somebody or people were saying something about how it's a human in that droid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd
it's
be
not.
But I
droid,
think no,
yeah.
I'm not saying it's just that he moves very much like a human.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
you're saying is this Mace Windu? Is that confirmed?
Yes.
I told you guys it's actually Ned Beatty himself. The young boomer said, good to see a seeker droid one step closer to live action Iden Versio. That's true. I think that's going to go a little underappreciated, but good recall. Yeah, it was. I liked also seeing, for what it's worth, what was Jyn Erso called when she like puts on the helmet with like the Imperial helmet with like the things?
Yeah, the
Like
air traffic controller. Yeah.
yeah, I don't remember
I
what they're
remember that.
called, but
Yeah.
they I saw some of those guys and I was like, hey, it's those guys.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
It's cool.
it's kind of cool seeing like all of that stuff like form out more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seeing more of that stuff.
Well, it's
Um,
surprising. It kind of goes to show the visual design for the video games that they used the base on Nur so heavily in this episode and kind of leaned into that aesthetic that was already established without having to
You're a
kind of retcon
scruffy
stuff.
looking nerd herder.
Nerf herders. Yeah. The water sequence with like holding the glass. I don't know how I'll feel about it when I watched it a few times, but on the first viewing, I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Like it was pretty effective. And when the glass does break, the water coming out was pretty intense. I was like, oh, it was not. I thought that was nicely done. That was something where I was like, please don't look choppy. You know what I mean? It really could have.
Is it me or are the stormtroopers just a little bit more not menacing but intimidating? A little bit, a smidge.
Yeah,
And they're a little bit. No, maybe it's just me. Okay.
yeah, no, well, you know, when he like throws the sound, like
Mhm.
the stormtroopers are like, you know, over there, they like go over there, but they don't add like any lines like, so what are you doing after this? Like
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
add any of that kind of shit that we kind of got in A New Hope that was very casual. It kind of kept it
Mhm.
light in some
Yeah.
certain ways. So we didn't really have any of that kind of, you know, you hear about that no XP3 speeder or anything like that. They just kind of like are like on the job.
Yeah.
And then also like I don't think Obi-Wan is confident enough to Jedi mind trick.
Yeah.
At this point, because that would have been just really convenient. And I'm glad. Actually, I'm really glad because one of the things, like, just a little side note, is like in A New Hope, he's like this works on the weak-minded, and Star Wars has just decided because of pop culture, you could do it on anybody, unless it's Wada, and so I really like it when it's morons you can do it to, and like if you try to do it on somebody, you know, like a role-playing game, if their intelligence is too high, you don't have enough die to do that. It's not gonna work for you. So yeah, but you know, fucking Wade, man. I can't believe we lost Wade already, you guys. We just met him, we just fucking lost him.
Poor
We laugh
guy.
at Wade now, but wait till we have 5 Wade books and 16 Wade comics, right?
You're terrible, Muriel.
Sad but
Oh,
true.
they're like, you guys thought we said it's called The Path. It's called The Wade. So
This is the Wade.
this is The Wade.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Poor Wade. Darth Cricket says this was Wade's Rogue One. It was Wade's Rogue One, wasn't it?
There you go. Wade, a Star Wars story. There you go. Stole my line.
Baymax says must be next week. Mace comes out of Ned B. I know.
Really?
It was kind of funny because I was talking to a friend today, and they're like, you know, are you sure Ned's in the new episode? I'm like, I'm pretty sure he like left with them because he took like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then I come today and we see it. I'm like, well, they just kind of like fucking forgot about Wade. This Wade's just kind of gone now. So I guess so. I don't know if we're just gonna see Wade like I was here the whole time, like hanging out in the background, and then when we get back to the other episodes or not.
Wade or Ned?
No, sorry,
Ned?
Ned. Sorry, guys. Sorry, it's late. Give me a break. Yeah, thank you, Ned. Yeah, Ned B. I thought Ned was gonna be a part of the episode and the whole thing. And
is there Ned Sanders?
Ned Flanders.
I don't know. Look in your phone book, Mac. No. Ned Flanders. Yeah, Ned Flanders.
He comes out highly holy.
Yeah, definitely neighbor guy, right? Is that what he says? It's been a long time. Baymax is laughing. Or Young Boomer's laughing at Baymax. Soundwave says all of these VFX look way better on a digital file of Kenobi versus the streaming of Disney Plus. And then Baymax says the VFX on my phone look way better than it does on my TV. Not sure what it is.
Small screen.
Well, sure. Yeah, it definitely helps. But I also think like it just like not being like a film replica. It's just like a 4K TV looking like, I don't know what you call that, the TV look. makes it look like TV instead of looking like film. They don't do any of the stuff that they do on digital film to make it look like it's like a more cinematic movie. They're not. That just looks like to me like the Disney Plus shows.
Well, and usually when you film TV shows, you film at 30 frames a second versus 24 frames per second on a film.
Yeah, right.
I don't know like the technical specifications in terms of what they do differently on the Disney Plus TV shows than what they do on the films, but that would be the normal standard. There is some deviation in terms of the technical specifications. Not to get too nerdy about it, but
yeah. But yeah, and you know, it's like we want it to look more cinematic. We do, but at the end of the day, it is, you know, fucking TV show. So the fact, I mean, as far as it goes, most TV shows don't look this good. So I don't really have a big complaint about it. The Young Boomer says Hasbro when Leia has another outfit change. I don't know, dude. Like, I could be wrong, but something tells me that they're not going to be super stoked to make a 10-year-old Leia action figure over and over again. So I think if anything, like, they might do it right the first time with like clothes that go on over her, or that. But what do I know? I don't really follow the collecting stuff too much these days, but it doesn't seem like they are too big on that shit. But
no.
Yeah, this is the Wade. Forgot about Wade. And the Young Boomer says, turns out Wade was in Ned all the time. Yeah. That was a pretty good throw from Ariva. She was like, nope. Like, throws that box at him, and he's like, ah. I was saying, it was pretty fucked up way. I was almost expecting that they were gonna do a force grab of the ship and pull him in or something. I you know, but
he should have ejected and landed in the water, so then you could have Wade waiting.
Gosh,
That's late.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you know,
very late.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, there's really, I mean, like, and then the we have the you know, Darth Vader moment where he goes in and I liked how when Reva is being choked, it kind of reminded me of a little bit of Lando when he's getting choked by
So where are you going with that?
by Chewbacca. Sorry, I'm really tired. By Chewbacca, and he's like, you know, they kind of had that thing, like, I let him go, you know, and I was like, okay, that's kind of fun.
I like Lando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say the Vader, just the movements of Vader don't kind of match up to me. I mean, he kind of moves kind of quick and is very like, I think he should be a little more slow and menacing as opposed to kind of, you know, running around and
aggressive.
Well, his that movement is the A New Hope movement. They don't, like when he's like, "Is what?" He's like, "He's over," you know. He's like real, like when you watch him. He's They don't really slow him down until Empire.
Because like when he came storming into the room, like that kind of stuff, like he was like walking really fast, and then like when he lets her down, he kind of like runs up to her and is like, you know, he's like right on top of her, and it seemed like he was just like
he's also like, he kind of comes up behind Leia and gets really close. He's like kind of a little bit of a creepy guy in an elevator in A New Hope behind Leia as well.
Yeah.
When I saw him move that fast, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, at least so what I'm saying is, I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah,
I think they're going for the A New Hope kind of thing. But aggressive? Once again, you know, like he's fast moving, he's storming around, like he's a man on the move in a New Hope, and then after that, like, they really fucking stop that after A New Hope, and what comes after defines him. I think defines him way more than anything else. So I still kind of go like, yeah, should you be doing that? Should you be doing what we remember of the character collectively, or should you be doing what plays into A New Hope the best? Because honestly, A New Hope Vader isn't the best Vader. That's like the other side of it. You know what I mean? Like, And then they kind of go and they like do things like with the costume, where the costume is not the A New Hope costume, and I'm totally fine with that. But they also do things that lead into it. But if you ask somebody who's like an aficionado on those costumes, they're like, "What is that? Like that's not the New Hope way, or whatever."
They split the difference with it because like the cape is tucked into his armor, whereas in Empire and Jedi he's got the chain going, and so there's little modifications that you can see that they're being consistent with, but they're not 100% on it. But yeah, I mean, that's total geek shit.
So. I mean, I think if Disney wasn't so fucking woke and candy-assed, what they would have done is when Wade got hit, he would have fucking turned around and said, "What?" And he would have pulled the speeder around, and he would have got out, and he would have slapped her in the face, and then got back in, because from back when men were men and women were women, and he would have got in and flown away. But Disney's woke, so they don't do that anymore.
Was that her husband or something?
That might have been her partner. I don't know. I kind of assumed that though, because it seemed like they're rather like a thing or like best friends. I'm not sure.
Something.
Yeah, I mean, they might have just been like close friends, or it might just be like left open for us to interpret or whatever. But yeah, it looked like they were taking it pretty hard. So at least one person cared about Wade.
Oh, y'all are mean.
Young Boomer says Vader's probably incredibly pissed at himself because he underestimated Obi-Wan again. Obi-Wan's getting his shit back together.
He's like, no.
Yeah. This goes back to the last episode where it makes that look kind of silly that Vader lets Obi-Wan go, because then he's surprised to find out that Obi-Wan's being tracked. So the only way that made sense to me is like, well, he's letting him go so we can follow him to more prey. Because there's no way that fire stopped him. So I don't. Yeah, it just left.
Well, here's like the thing about that scene though. To go back to last week, if we go back to last week, you can put 15 reasons why he let him go on one side of the chalkboard. And on the other chalkboard to the left, the only side that you have left is because they're dumb. They overlooked it because they're dumb. So it's like, which are you going to go with in the end? And it's like the fact that it was seeing his father hurt, his brother hurt. He wanted to track him. He was going to toy with them, like just all these things. So what I'm trying to say is I think that it does annoy me that they didn't actually in the narrative state what the purpose was.
Yeah, well, and that's again where I go back to the visual storytelling. I don't think it's that they're dumb. I just think that they didn't properly communicate their intentions. I'm sure that they thought that through. I'm sure if you asked Deborah Chow, they'd be like, "Oh, because of this." But in watching it, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it's like that you can tell me what your intentions were at the end of the day, but you need to convey that in your actual stuff. I don't need to have an interview post.
No. The only actual interpretation is that you as a fan bring in shit from Revenge of the Sith and decide that's what it is. But if you want to just be completely like fair about it, you can only bring in what's in this story.
Yeah.
And in this story, the opening scene with the Grand Inquisitor is the Jedi trap themselves. We're gonna like let them spring through their own trap. And so what they're doing is exactly that. Like that's the only like conclusion that you could actually make from it.
Only if Vader is not surprised that they're being tracked, because I get that, but then when the main guy's like, "What? There's a tracker?" It's like, if that was your whole stated purpose, then it shouldn't be a surprise that you're being, that you're tracking these people.
Well, when Obi-Wan gets away, they aren't tracking him, but they got Leia.
Yeah.
So they know he's coming back. They know he's not gone. They know like for sure. Like I'm gonna give this one to Anakin and give it to Vader, that he knows Obi-Wan's gonna not leave a little girl that he was in charge of. He's coming back.
Yeah.
But I think that they probably arrogantly thought that if they would set up the trap in a better way, and that he wouldn't be brazen enough to go to the fortress on Nur. But also I would say that was a miscalculation by him, because of course he would. Like he does that shit all the time, but I used to anyway. But and then Baymax says we did see the snow speeders in the concept art. That's true. We did. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and I think we may see more. We may see more of those things parked on Jabim, maybe. Darth Grogu says Wade was our goose to our Maverick.
Excellent.
That
Yes.
was the flat spin of the Star Wars universe. Reva throwing a freaking brick at your head, or whatever that thing was. Hey Ben, how's it going? Do you think they cut Reva realizing Leia's adopted and anything about her finding Luke and Leia are Skywalkers because she lives now? Could also explain the episode being so short. Right now, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't know. Like I thought that they were going to do like really get into like some of the telepathy stuff, and they like didn't. So don't know what to make of that. Maybe it just doesn't happen. Maybe they did cut it. Maybe they shot it and decided they just didn't want it. You know, I mean, maybe they at the end of the day they figured, or maybe that did happen, and we don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe when they were doing their staring contest, maybe Reva has more data on her, so to speak, than she thinks, and they just didn't get to it yet. You know,
That was fun.
because they are interrupted. Like,
That was funny when she said that.
are we having a staring contest? Yeah, I appreciated that.
I lolled.
Yeah, it was that was pretty funny. But yeah, so if anybody have any other like little closing comments, we're gonna come back tomorrow. You guys are both welcome if you guys are free.
What time are you going on?
Probably around 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up in the morning, and I'm gonna my kids are on summer break now, so I'm gonna watch it with the kids, and then gonna give like a final verdict, a final opinion on it, where I kind of do like a more not essentially like a serious review, but like, you know, I'll have watched it twice, and
Mhm.
I'll have like I'm gonna make notes and stuff like that. It'll be a little bit more than just my impressions like we did tonight, you know, the show.
Well, let me ask you, because one of the things that I think with like the visual effects, because you're on a TV budget, and you talk about like the air speeders look kind of wonky and stuff. Everybody seems to agree with that. But I personally, like, I would rather have the wonky air speeders, but then not have Joshua Tree as your planet. So I'm okay with having like bad VFX, but to do something. So I would have been a lot happier seeing a planet like Mapuzo and have them put some kind of filter or do something in VFX, even if it looks a little chintzy, just to have it be more visually interesting.
Yeah.
I don't need perfection, but I just want it to be something, you know, a little more creative, a little more different.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, would you rather have like perfect VFX and only save it for reserving to have it look exact, or are you okay with having kind of, yeah, it looks fake, it looks cheap, but the concept's cool, so I'm down with it.
Yeah, well, like Mapuzo is okay. I actually no, I watched it a few times, and they do better stuff with it than, say, like I said, the Mando episode where Grogu calls Luke through the Force.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? It does it, like, we've seen it worse.
Yeah.
And so, and there's a lot of stuff in there where I'm like, okay, it does at times just feel a little bit like the cartoons, how like the planet is like kind of like laid out, and that the concept of it had a bit, yeah. It obviously, though, it could have been a lot better. Like I said, I think that they needed to add something to the flora, like weird berries or something, you know, like on the trees that are like just something insane, just to give it like some sort of exoticism that we just don't have.
You just put a
from
filter on it, just the coloration, just kind of do something with it. You don't have to do anything extreme, but I would have liked to have seen that. Because look at Geonosis, they filmed those plates in Tunisia. That they
No,
used, was it Tunisia or that
No,
they
it's really
filmed
Geonosis. It was really
it's really real. It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, well, I thought Geonosis was mostly just all models.
It was
I
models.
didn't know.
Well,
I
like
didn't know
the
if they
arena
actually
and
used,
stuff,
like,
but the actual like establishing shots, they actually filmed an actual location, and
we'll have
then
to
they,
look it up,
yeah.
and I doubt it was Tunisia because you wouldn't do Tunisia if you're doing Tunisia for Tatooine in the same movie, right?
Well, I'm pretty sure
That's a
because
good
they
song.
said they were filming the background plates for Geonosis when they were in Tunisia because they were already there, and they said, "But we're gonna,
Yeah,
VFX the shit
alter
out of them,
them
so
up.
you're not gonna
Yeah,
recognize it."
Is that where
Which
he
obviously
said
they
that we're going to
did.
film something here and they couldn't
Yeah.
talk about it? On the making this
no, he's talking about the Revenge of the Sith baby
Oh.
scene with
Oh
Luke.
yeah, that's different. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
No,
the baby thing. They filmed some of like Owen and Beru, I think, from Attack of the Clones for Revenge of the Sith.
that
it.
end scene, was
Yeah.
filmed during episode 2 shooting. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, you don't know what it is, but everyone's like, they're talking about the everyone's just totally on that one. Totally
I
knew
didn't
what
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd. Like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, Max
It's a
still didn't know. Poor
secret.
Max has been living with this secret their whole life. Bullshit.
I didn't know.
Big Max
My
says,
Puza, your Puza,
any
any Puza.
Puzo, all the moon on the Puzo. Yeah, but
Am I the only one that thought of that name was nasty
no.
or
Yes,
suggestive?
yes,
Yes.
You're sick. You're sick.
Mm.
No, of course.
My Puzo.
When I told Bespin Bulletin about that planet, he was like, "What the fuck? Are you serious? It's called Mapusa." I was like, "Yeah." He's all. They need to say the shit out loud, and I was like, you know what? I never said it out loud until I just talked to you, and I was like, yeah, you're right.
I just thought Mario Puzo from Godfather, but you guys all have dirty minds. So
No, that's clearly what they're calling back to, but it just
It
sounds
doesn't sound
like
right.
sounds like tequila saying my pussy. That's what I'm gonna say. The young boomer says, as a quick point, Obi-Wan episode 1 made the Barb ratings in the UK. Not many streaming shows make that, as I think it accounts for the top 50 watch shows for that week. Yeah, which is a lie by Disney. The show is failing and nobody's watching it because they ruined Star Wars. It wasn't violent enough. No, but I've seen that shit today. It's like, what are you guys talking about? It's Italian for Mapuzo.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
Darth Grogu.
But to go back to your like actual question, James. The thing is like, if you let like one thing go and then do like for another thing, that compromise just always sucks. Like, this is Star Wars, and I would just rather it not be a thing. I would rather there not be like 5 Star Wars shows coming out in 1 year, and just maybe 4 of them like not cut that corner. Like, I would rather have like 4 near perfect, as perfect as they could make it, Star Wars shows, as opposed to like quantity, over that and losing that little line of quality.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, I think the story works. I think people are watching it. I think your average person is completely fine with it, and stuff like that. So it's like, I could see where they're like, good enough, but at the same time, Star Wars has always been not about being good enough. It's about like, we do
Being the
this the best.
best.
Yeah, like the visual effects are the
Yeah.
best, or the best that can be done
At that time.
at the time. And I guess right now, maybe that is what they consider the best that they can do at the time for that price point in this way. And there was one shot, by the way, when Tala is walking into one of the big room with like the doors, where you could see it was clearly like the volume.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I could tell that's the volume right there. But then I also remembered watching Lando literally walk into a blue screen and just turn into like a nothing, like color like thing. And I was like, you know what? I'll take this. I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. This is good.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree.
yeah.
I mean, it's a shame. I mean, that's the one thing that you wish George was still around, because if you look at like the budget for the Clone Wars
He's still
episodes,
alive.
well,
No?
like still
You
around,
didn't
like
hear?
yeah.
Shut up.
He would have spent a lot more money, I'm sure, per episode, even than Disney was, because he didn't give a shit. And so you wouldn't have been cutting nearly as many corners, because if George wanted,
I actually completely see your point.
And I know where you're going with this.
And no, it's because like what you're saying
Yeah.
is true of Clone Wars,
Mhm. Yeah.
but then wasn't true of the prequels.
Correct.
And then so it's like, what would George? Well, I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with he would have been cheap George because we didn't get Underworld because it was too expensive.
Well, I will say there's a difference. Where you're going with the prequels, he wanted to save money, but not by necessarily cutting corners in terms of what his overall vision was. So like he didn't like, oh, you know, the space battle, we gotta cut it back because it's gonna be too much in the budget. He'd be like, this is what we're doing, and we're gonna do it for this amount of money.
Yeah.
And if it costs more money, he would have done it to say, well, I want this, and so we're gonna do it. And the same thing with like the Clone Wars, there was kind of the same thing. They obviously had a budget per show. Possible, but you know, the Battle of Camino, where Dave said he showed him like the rough animatics of it, and then George is like, "Where are the spaceships?" And Filoni's like, "That's all we got the budget for." And he's like, "No, fucking throw more shit in there." So I mean, I think if Lucas felt like it was compromising his vision of what he wanted, what he expected, he had no problem with opening up the pocketbook and spending money, but he wanted to do it as cheaply as possible. Yeah.
See, like stupid shit, like Vader getting up and looking weird. Like he would have saw that. He would have like, what do we have to reshoot that? He would have been like that gate, that laser gate thing. We need to reshoot it. But when they came back to reshoot it, like Vader, I mean Obi-Wan would have like a completely like shaggy beard, and then everybody would be like, "Look at that beard! Why's that beard so stupid?" And so I just feel like we just really can't win as Star Wars fans. We just have to go either we got Kenobi with the crazy beard, or we get the fact that he's too lazy to walk around the gate. I don't know. Gregory says, cheap George eats Chinese food at food courts at the local mall and drinks a Diet Coke with it. Right? I mean, hey, you know what? That Diet Coke that cut off about 250 calories out of there. So you know, he's trying. But man, Chinese food sounds good right now. Wish Chinese food was around right now. Why'd you have to bring up mall Chinese food, dude? Why'd you have to do that right now? That sounds good. But yeah. But I mean, yeah, episode was. I mean, like I said, it was good action. Moved pretty well. And I think next week we're gonna get to Jabeam, and then I think it'll probably be pretty interesting. I think there should be a lot of intrigue there. Look at James just thinking about next week. Look at him. He's like, man, next week is gonna be good. Darth Vader's looking at him like they're both just like really about it. Begun the Clone War has. Look at how jovial you are right there.
Wow.
You're just like next week, you're like, man, it's gonna be cool.
That's funny.
But anyways, I think next week's gonna be cool. Tomorrow morning, I'll be back and I'll give like a kind of a moment by moment sort of like breakdown and review, and Rob will be with me. You guys are welcome.
Hot takes.
Rob's hot takes, Rob, or hot cakes Rob, you decide. But yeah, and you guys, like I said, if you guys are around, by all means jump on. If you've had enough of this or you said what you had to say, no worries. Yeah, and so we'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. I am going to bed. I quit. You guys go to bed. You should quit too. And thanks for hanging out with us today, James and Max. And we will do it again next week.
Yeah.
If you dare.
Yes.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go. It's not about spaceships.